back to the Saucy Secret. I'm Yari Robles.
And I'm Sonia Tijerina.
We're starting a new year with some new interviews, and we've got Sonia Vargas here of Damn It Boys. Welcome, Sonia.
Thank you.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Thank you, ladies, for having me.
Sonia, you've mentioned that you've been part of Competition Barbecue for the past 12 years. Tell us, how did you get started with Competition Barbecue?
I started off Competition Barbecue with a wonderful team of about 6 guys. They decided they wanted somebody different. So they picked me up, said, hey, come cook with us. And I became one of the members of Puro Rancho. Head cook is Juan Arce, who happens to be Fred's uncle. And on that team at the time was Arnie Segovia, Joe Yarito, Bobby Garza, Oscar Vargas, and the gentleman gave me the basics of barbecue and jackpots, and I learned everything. I can probably say everything in the world from these guys.
Had you cooked before? Did you have an interest in barbecue?
Every Sunday, my dad used to cook for us. Mm-hmm. So I had the interest in barbecue, except Dad would never let us touch the pits.
Had you ever lit a fire?
Yes.
You had? Oh, okay. So you're, wow, that's good.
Well,
no wonder they chose you.
No, well, my dad used to call me a little pyromaniac. So yeah, I'm a little too familiar with fire.
Well, you're not from here.
No.
Where are you from?
I was born and raised El Paso, Texas. Juan was actually very good friends with the commander of the American Legion in Edinburgh at the time, which is Chuy Muniz at the time. And he and my dad were co-commanders. So every year they'd have a barbecue competition out there, and my dad and I would run the concession stand. And I told my dad, I want to compete. My dad's like, no, it's kind of for the boys. And I'm like, no, I want to compete. And well, Mr. Muniz had heard me, and he's like, you know what? I want her to be on that team because I sponsor that team. He goes, let's get her on there.
Aww.
And so Juan agreed, and they picked me up.
Oh, that is so cool.
Well, those are some really good people to learn from.
I know.
Yes, I know they've been. Well, Arnie,
They're
we
really
had
good.
Terry on the show not so long ago, and Theo Juan, has been competing too. So yeah, they do well. Yeah.
That's nice. Sonia, so what role do you play on the team, Damn It Boys?
I actually have several roles on Damn It Boys. I am the head dishwasher. I'm also
Important role.
I'm also Danny lets me cook the ribs. He takes on the chicken and brisket mostly, and I get to help out in little bits and pieces of that, but I cook the ribs. So I enjoy that.
And
Did you select that category for yourself, or was it thrust upon you?
Yes and no. I kind of didn't like what Danny was doing. So I was like,
we want to win.
Can
So
I
let me
try
cook the
this?
ribs.
Can I try this? Can I do that? And sure enough, he's like, you know what? Go ahead. Have at it.
Oh,
So yeah.
She kept it classy. I like
And then you got a first place rib, right? You were mentioning you got a first place. What contest was that again?
My very first place rib was 2018 Eagle Pass, the Muy Grande cook-off. And the first place trophy was a belt buckle. So
Aww.
that was so exciting. So instead of putting the belt buckle on the shelf, I actually do wear it.
That's so cool. So when you were competing, how did you feel at awards? Did you think you had a shot, or was
No.
it a complete surprise?
It was a complete surprise.
Wow.
I had been doing kind of average with the ribs. I'd be lucky if it was maybe a 7th place, an 8th place, and every now and then I'd get a little lucky, maybe a 5th, but it never got any higher.
Wow.
And I'm like, okay, what am I doing wrong? And so Danny is like, well, why don't we just kind of tweak it? Yeah, sure, why not? So I started putting some other stuff on it. Don't ask me what I put because I don't remember. And by the time they started getting to number 3, I'm looking at my ticket, looking around at people, like, no. Number 2, no. Number 1, looking at the number again, looking at the number again. Danny's like, that's us. No. And yeah, sure enough it was, and I was jumping up and down and screaming and so excited. And our last first place ribs was recently in San Antonio, Traders Village.
Oh, wow.
And That one was about the same. I was talking away during awards and talking to some of my friends, and they kept calling the number, and I finally looked, and oh yeah, that was us.
Well, it was a good thing you caught it, because it would have
Gone and claimed, and Danny would have killed me.
What is the biggest misconception you've heard about women in competition barbecue?
The biggest misconception would have to be that we don't cook the meat categories, that all women do in barbecue is cook the jackpots. On our team, I don't really cook the jackpots. I'll be honest with you. Danny makes better beans than I do. So, of course, hey, you're going to cook them. Carne guisada, his is way better than mine.
You were doing pan de campo, no?
Yes.
With,
I still do it.
Okay.
I still will do
so
pan de campo.
that's the only jackpot that you like?
Well, that and dessert. I like cooking the dessert categories, but most of the time, no, he cooks them. He's better than I am. I'll be honest.
Sonia, what is the biggest misconception that you've come across with people and competition barbecue?
That we're offering free samples for everybody when they come by. I've had plenty of instances where we've had individuals come up and start trying to grab a plate and, hey, what do you have here? Or get ready to open up the barbecue pit on you. And you're like, no. Don't touch it.
Yeah, they think it's a cookout.
Mhm.
It's a backyard cookout. I could see that. What is your favorite part about barbecue?
I would have to say it's the people. I've met so many different types of people since I've been doing this. And to see the different backgrounds, to see their kids grow now, and now the kids are the kids queue, and I enjoy that. The friendships that I've made, I think that's what I really enjoy about it.
Do you remember your first barbecue competition and how you felt? Do you remember the very
How did it
first
go
one
for
you
you?
attended?
The very first one.
My very first one never got up for awards. We packed the truck like we were moving. I mean, it was overloaded.
Were you surprised at that, or is that something you did, or is that something they did?
It was out of habit. It was because you thought you needed 6 trays just in case, and you needed both sizes of aluminum foil, and Lord knows that you need spoons, forks, and knives, and we went to Sam's, so we had the big packages of everything, and it was just, like I said, looked like we were moving. And then by the time you started taking little things out and you realized you'd never opened packages of stuff, and let's leave that at home next time. Let's try to, So yeah, it got pretty interesting there for a while, but no, we didn't win. I don't think we did well at all. And that was before they announced any of the finals tables and stuff like that. So thank God, because I think we probably would have ended up last.
Aww.
Sonia, have you ever thought about competing on your own?
I've thought about it, and when it actually comes down to it, I don't think I would. It's a lot of work for 2 people to do with just 3 categories, and for me to do it by myself, I don't think I'd ever be able to be honest.
Sonia, what is the most annoying thing that you've ever encountered in competition barbecue?
That's actually really easy without throwing Danny under the bus. Danny has a tendency of forgetting something at home. I don't care what competition, first, last, the last one we had, he always leaves something at home. So I am in a mad dash to H-E-B, trying to pick something up at the last minute. And
Is he related to Fred in a way?
I think all of them, especially when it comes to competition, all of them are related. Between having to go borrow from our neighbors, do you guys have an extra trash bag? Kind of hiding. Do you happen to have any extra paper towels? Yeah, even aluminum foil a couple of occasions.
That can be annoying.
Yeah.
And that's because you gave him a list too, right? When
Yes.
you went shopping, he had a list and he still forgot
There was
the
a
most
list.
important thing. Yeah, Fred does that to me a lot too. So how much longer do you and Danny see yourselves competing in barbecue?
We've actually talked about this, and Danny wants to hit the barbecue trail a little bit harder once he retires. But I see us doing this just as long as the good Lord lets us. We really enjoy it. Something we look forward to on the weekends, and he uses it as his relaxation, kind of unwind from his work week. So, yeah, we'll be doing it for a while.
Sonia, what other things fill your life when you're not competing in barbecue?
Well, other than work, which doesn't fill life, my main hobby is I crochet.
Oh, that's nice.
I am a, let's see, I guess published crochet designer.
Okay.
Some of my designs have been featured in national magazines.
Wow.
One of them, as recent as last year, was in a national campaign for one of the yarn companies. So I enjoy it.
That's
I do.
a big deal.
I
That is
do.
a big
Super
deal.
cool.
That is cool.
I make blankets for the barbecue babies who come in to our region. And some of my special friends, when their parents are in need or sick, I normally make blankets for their parents, stuff of that nature. And right now, crocheting cardigans.
Did you wear a cardigan during Christmas that you of your own design?
Yes, I did.
Did you make Danny an ugly sweater?
No, nobody has the real tiny blanket. Does that count? I made a blanket that was my size, and he tries to use it, so his poor feet stick out. And
How did you get into that, into crocheting? That kind of seems like a trait or,
Learned
skill
from your mom?
that,
or-
yeah.
no, my mom sews, but so I learned how to sew from her, but it just wasn't any fun to me. I have to do it because I'm short and I have to hem my pants, so yeah, I had to learn how to sew. But
Singing to the choir.
but when it came to crochet, it was something different. And like you see, one long piece of yarn, one little needle, and the possibilities were endless. So I love the idea. Can't screw it up, mess up, take it
You
apart.
Take it apart.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
No, that's really cool. And I've seen your stuff. It's really pretty too. You're very talented.
Thank you.
What changes or improvements would you like to see in competition barbecue?
Standardized entry fee. That would be awesome to be able to know that at any cook-off I go to, anywhere that's IBCA, all I'm going to pay is this much, and that's it. Another nice thing would be is standardized payouts, because we're getting to the point now where the payouts are $3,000, $5,000, and they're only paying the top three. Spread out the money a little bit more. I think you'll get more cooks. You'll get happier cooks, and who are more likely to return.
Yeah, that's some
Those are good
some
ideas,
good
yeah.
points. Yeah.
Sonia, is there a woman in barbecue or in cooking in general that you admire?
Honestly, I admire any woman who is going to go out there on a Saturday in the rain, the heat, the wind. Well, I can't say snow because it doesn't get that cold here.
In a parking lot. or
in
a
a
field.
Parking lot.
On, on asphalt in triple degree heat, next to a
Yes.
triple degree barbecue pit, melting. I admire any woman that's going to take her time and do that next to her husband or boyfriend or family member. They're a rare kind of woman. It takes one special kind of woman to do something like that.
I think
You're
that's
right.
a top
That's
level
it.
of support right there, where you
Yes.
can endure like all those conditions and still,
And-
be there and actually help out.
And then come home with a buckle. Are you
and then-
kidding?
yeah.
Right?
That just makes it even better. Looking like a drowned rat, but I have a buckle.
But I won.
So about how many cook-offs do y'all do a year?
We probably do about 24 cook-offs a year, an average between 1 and 2 a month, sometimes a lot more than that.
Well, so yeah, because sometimes here in the valley, we have several back-to-back, every weekend, so I can see that.
Our longest stretch was 6 cook-offs in a row, and after that I threatened to leave him. I was tired. It was just too much.
Sonia, do you have any advice to give to the new people that are starting out in competition barbecue?
Don't be afraid to fail. You never know if you're good at something unless you try, and you're not going to be good the first time around. There's plenty of cooks from the most experienced to, well, us, and then least experienced, that we have gone to awards with all 3 tickets in our hand, all excited, and we've ended awards with all 3 tickets in our hand, and
Not very
disappointed. But I mean, don't give up. Your day will come.
So what's next for you and Danny and Damn It Boys?
Right now, we're looking into starting catering for a little bit. We've been talking about it, and finally, we're going to take a jump in that direction. So if not, message me, because Danny won't answer. So message me. other than that, we're just going to keep cooking and enjoying our friends and our families that we see there at the cook-offs. If you ever see us there, come by, say hi. If you don't see me at the camp, I'm usually saying hi to everybody else. So I like jumping around there. You're ever hungry, come by, we'll feed you. I'm notorious for making lunch during Saturday cook-offs. So,
Ooh. Yeah. We're always hungry. Sonia, thank you so much for joining us on the show. We wish you and Danny the best of luck out there in the competition world, and come back and see us anytime.
Thanks, Sonia.
thank you guys so much for having me.
And you viewers, thank you for joining in. To stay tuned for other episodes with the Barbecue Wives, the Saucy Secret. We'll have a great guest next week, and so stay tuned. If you have any suggestions, comments, or questions, you can email us or comment on Facebook. Thank you so much.
And until
And
then,
keep
keep it saucy.